Again, an equation describes the relationship between two quantities. The variable x often represents the independent variable, and the y often represents the dependent variable. Okay, so that's really important to know. So I would like you to underline it. X often represents the independent variable. Now, not always, but for the most part. And then y represents the dependent variable. What's a dependent variable again? The answer or total. Okay? So usually you're going to have equals and then y after it. And then the x will be in the equation. Okay? Alright, so let's read the next thing. Ready? Go. A value of the independent variable is called the input value, and the value of the dependent variable is called the output. So let's underline that. That's important. So independent is the input. Look, what do they both have? In. Amazing. And then the dependent is the output value. Okay? So it's the total. It's what I'm looking for. So if I look over here, I'm just going to erase this real quick. There we go. If I look over here, I've got an input of 2. So I'm going to put 2. And what's my input? The x, right? The independent variable, the input is usually x. So I'm going to put 2 in there. All right, and then, so if I put 2 plus 3, what's my output? 5. So y equals 5. All right, what if I input 4 here? Then I have 4 plus 3, and my output is what? 7. Okay, you ready? Go. A skating rink charges $3 for each hour of skating, plus $1.75 to rent skates. Write an equation for the relationship that gives the total cost y in dollars for skating x hours. Then make a table that shows cost of skating for 1, 2, 3, and 4 hours. Okay, so first I'm going to make an equation. Okay. All right, I would like to underline $3 for each hour. What is each telling me there? I'm going to multiply, okay? And I don't know my total cost. Now remember, what is the total usually represented by? What variable? What variable? Shout it out, go. Y. So I know I'm going to put y down there for sure. Okay, the total cost is, what do they want there? 3? $3, yeah, let's do $3. $3 for each, so I know I'm multiplying. Hour, do I know how many hours? No, so I'm going to throw my independent variable in there. And my independent variable is usually what? Look up here. What is it? X. So I'm going to put X there. Plus skate rental. Now what is that called? A constant. Does that change? No, I have to walk in and pay that no matter what. And then that's all. But then they will charge me for each hour. Okay. So here's my equation. Y equals 3, I could say 3 times x or 3x plus 175. Now I have an equation. Now it wants me to do my input-output table. So my input is x. Please circle this and understand it. And my output is y. That's going to be my answer. So this tells me what x is. What is x? It is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I already know what x is. All I have to do is what? plug it in. All right, so I know what x is. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to plug these in. So it wants me to plug in 1 for x, so I'm going to do that right here. So 3 times 1 plus 175. Okay, now my order of operations says which one do I have to do first? 3 times 1. So I'm going to say 3 times 1 is 3 plus 175. Now, be super careful when I add decimals. What do I need to do? Line up my decimals. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm lining up my decimals. If I have a 3 and I have a whole number, then where does my decimal come? Right after it. Okay, I'm not going to do this. 175 plus 3. All right, I could do that for multiplication, but I can't do that for addition, so be super careful. All right, so I get 5, 7, and 4, so 475, okay? Next one is I'm going to plug 2 in for x, and I'm going to rewrite it. So now I have 3 times 2 plus 175. And I'm going to keep going here. I have 3 times what? 3 plus 175. And 3 times 4 plus 175. So go ahead and figure those out real quick and then check with your neighbor. Go. All right. I saw a bunch of you just do kind of these in your head. So what's 3 times 2? 6. And 6 plus 175 is? 775. What's 3 times 3? Plus 175? 1075. And what's 3 times 4? Plus 175? 1375. Okay, that's my output. So I put in my x and I got out my y. Okay, ready? Go. Jamal downloads songs on his MP3 player. The table shows how the time it takes him to download a song depends on the song's file size. Write an equation for the relationship shown in the table. Then use the equation to find out how many seconds it takes Jamal to download a song with a file size of 7 megabytes. All right, so I'm going to look at this table, okay? And I'm going to see what patterns I can see there. So I want you to talk to your neighbor for a second. It kind of tells you down here, but I want you to talk to your neighbor. Can you see a pattern between this and 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 this? Go. Okay, so my pattern is times by 12. So 7 times 12 is going to be what? 84. Okay. So 84. Okay, this is times by 6. This is times by 7. Right? No, that's wrong. Whoops. Sorry. This is times by 6. This is times by 8. Okay. Okay, so you can find each download time by multiplying the file size by 12. All right. Okay. So the download time is what? Well, I don't know, right? So this is my dependent variable, and what is the dependent variable usually? What variable is it? Y. So I'm just going to put y there. That's just what they decided to use in algebra, was the x and the y. So y equals, okay, what is this? Time, right? This is time. Time multiplied by the file size. So I want to know what the file size of 7. Nope, sorry. This should be x. Okay. And then I'm going to plug x in. So the equation is y equals 12x, or 12 times x. Then I can plug 7 in. All right, so I'm going to say y equals 12x. And then I'm going to take my 7. I'm going to take my 7 and plug it in. So 12 times 7 is 84. So it takes them 84 seconds to download. How many minutes is that?
1 minute and 24 seconds.
Good, 1 minute and 24 seconds. Okay, on these, it gives you the rule, okay? It tells you what x is. And then the ones down here, we have to find the rule, okay? So let's do one of these together first. So this tells me my equation. So I'm going to box my equation real quick. Box it. Then, do I have all the information I need to solve this? I do. First, I'm going to plug 6 in for x, and then I get 6 plus 3. Then I'm going to plug 8 in for x, and I get 8 plus 3. And then I'm going to plug 10 in for x and get what? 10 plus 3. Now I can find my output. So what's 6 plus 3?
9.
What's 8 plus 3? And what's 10 plus 3? Easy peasy. Okay. I would like you to do this next one with your partner. Input, then get your output. Okay, let's quickly do this. So if I plug 4 in, now I have 2 times 4 plus 1. What's 2 times 4? Plus 1?
9.
If I plug 7 in, then I have 2 times 7 plus 1. What's 2 times 7?
14.
Plus 1 is?
15.
And if I plug in 10, I get 2 times 10 plus 1, which is 21. Where it gets hard is trying to find the equation from the table. But I know what I can do first. What can I do first?
Check, like, what it's multiplied by. Like, 8 times 2 equals 6.
Find a pattern.
Yeah, 5.
Well, there's a pattern, but I know what I can do first. I always know the dependent variable is what? Y equals. Okay? So I'm going to start it all off with y equals because I know that's y equals. Now I have to find out what x is. Okay? So I'm going to say x something. So it's either going to be multiply, divide, subtract, or add. So I'm going to look at my pattern. What can I do to 8 to get 16? Okay, I could also do what? Add 8, right? I could add 8 to y to get 16, or I can multiply by 2 to y to get 16. All right, that's not a pattern yet. I have to do at least 3 to find my pattern. Okay, don't look at the first one and be like, I assume that's times by 2. So I know that the next one will be times by 2. Okay. All right, now what can I do to 9 to get 18? What can I do to 11 to get 22? So now I know for sure it's what? Times by 2. What am I timesing by 2? X. So x times 2, or y equals 2x. Okay. 4. What am I going to do very first? I already know my output is y equals. Now I have to find out what I'm doing with x. So can you please, with your partner, figure that out? Go. All right. So what can I do to 10 to get 5? I could divide by 2, or I could do what? Not add 5. What can I do to 10 to get 5? Subtract 5, right? So I can do 2 things. What can I do to 20 to get 10? Divide by 2. What can I do to 30 to get 15? So now I know for sure it's divide by 2. So I'm going to say x divided by 2. Now, if I want to make sure that that's correct, what can I do? What can I do? What?
Plug it in.
Plug these in, right? It's the easiest way to know for sure. So I'm going to take 10 and I'm going to put it there. And then do I get 5? So 10 divided by 2, is it 5? Is 20 divided by 2, 10? Is 30 divided by 2, 15? So 40 divided by 2 is 20. All right, so if I look at this practice sheet, okay, I need to find out what I put in. How do I get it out? So remember, don't just do it for the first one. You have to do it for at least 3 to make sure that's the rule. So let's look at this. What do I do to 12 to get 3? I could divide by 4. What else could I do? Subtract.
3.
Subtract 9, right? Okay. So what do I do to 20 to get 5? Okay. What do I do to 36 to get 9? So now I know it's divided by 4. So what's 24 divided by 4?
6.
And 12 times 4 is 48. Okay. This next one. What do I do to 4 to get 36?
Times 9.
Or
32.
plus 32, right? Okay. So let's try a couple more. What do I do to 8 to get 72? Times by 9. What about 12 to 108? Times by 9. So 6 times 9 is 54. And 90 divided by 9 is 10. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay, so let's find the rule for this one. My input, output. So I have to do, what do I do to the input to get the output? So what do I do to 4 to get 15? I can add 11. So let's check for sure. What do I do to 9 to get 20? 13 to 24? Okay, so I know my output is y equals. So what am I doing to my x to get to my y? Adding 11. So x plus 11. Now to double check that, I can hurry and plug it in. 4 plus 11 is 15. 9 plus 11 is 20. Okay, so that is my equation. All right, now on these, it gives you the variable. So this is 3. All right, so I'm going to plug 3 in for b. This tells me what b is. Then I'm going to plug 7 in for b, and 9 in for b, and 11 in for b, and 14 in for b. So what's 3 times 7? What's 7 times 7? 9 times 7. 11 times 7. 14 times 7. Hurry, quickly do it. 98. Good job. Okay, that's how you do those. So quickly do 5 and 6.